All right, y'all, how's it going? I know I haven't done one of these in a minute. There's quite a bit of stuff that I want to kind of go over. That's, I don't know, I kind of been not wanting to cover in my videos because I don't want to make that, I don't want to make my fishing videos one big commercial, and that's something I said I wouldn't do. But I do got to take the time to hop on here. We're going to do a little tackle talk, small little channel update, things like that, just to kind of keep you guys up to date with what's going on. And some of the, the little things that and companies that I've partnered with to this point to, again, teamwork makes the dream work. So that's what I'm going to go over today. And then hopefully, you guys can, whether these companies, give me a kickback or not, because a lot of them don't. A lot of them might just do it because I like their product and stuff like that. But maybe it'll give you, a reason to go support these smaller companies, stuff like that, which I love supporting. I love supporting the big ones too, but I love seeing, a lot of these smaller companies actually get into this and succeed because, as I've stated before, me as a consumer, I love having options. I wouldn't want 2 or 3 big guys controlling everything that we have to purchase. So I love pushing some of these people that are, they're just trying to do something a little bit different. That's the key now. They got to be trying to do something a little bit different. So that's what I'm going to try to, try to stick with, and I'm going to kind of showcase some of that stuff that I've come across here as of late. And that, like I said, again, covers some of the tackle stuff that I get a lot of questions about, and so try to clear that up or answer the questions, I guess, and then hopefully it does good for y'all or however it works out. But first off, we're gonna start talking about tackle. Some of the new stuff that I've been trying out, some of the new things I've been playing with, and some of the custom war signature stuff that I've got out there on the market, which, there's a small handful of it, but it's slowly getting bigger because I think it's kind of cool. Some of it does it really make a difference whether you catch fish or not? Not everything, but it's just kind of cool because, like I said, anybody that does anything signature, say like it's my signature something, right? So they have all committed to to donate a portion of said sales from that particular item, to a veteran organization. So whether it be a big donation, small donation, it doesn't matter. Anything and everything helps. So that's kind of the biggest reason why it's so cool for me to partner with these people and talk about that and let you guys know that, because I know a lot of people don't know that. So I guess the first part of the tackle is that my biggest sponsor of all is going to be, obviously, Mad Catz with this rod here. So Mad Catz themselves, they already donate as much as they possibly can. And they do it low key because they don't want it to be a, like a selling point for their stuff. But I know because me and Matt, we've talked about it. And so he donates way more than a lot of people think, and he does it, and he doesn't want, he doesn't boast about it. He doesn't talk about it a whole lot. So, but those of you that have been benefits of the donation, you know who you are, and you know what I'm talking about. So he does a great job with that. But again, with my rod, this particular rod, that any of the proceeds that I get off these rods, I got a set portion that I donate, which I've already sent out 2 checks to different veteran organizations thus far. So that's kind of cool that I'm able to do that because like I've always said, I don't need to make no more money than I have to. So the next company that also does the same thing is these guys here. This is Carolina Lake weights. So these are my signature colors. So my signature weights are the 3 and 4 ounce weights that they have. So if you go on their website and you can scroll through however it works out, and then come across my signature weight. So whatever profits they make off that product, a portion of it they also donate to veteran organizations. So same thing with these JBN News Slings. Okay, so he makes these. He actually made these for me. These are. I'll go into a little bit more of that and towards the end of this video about these here, about these colors. Anyway, obviously they match my new rod, but they also match something else I'm getting here pretty soon. So we're working. So he does the same thing. So I'm working with. Again, I talk about this guy a little bit because he's kind of a small business guy. He's just trying to bring something different to the market, and that's cool. Something different than what your typical catfishing company has out there now. So so that's his logo. Obviously, I've been using this. See if we get it to focus. But Cat Daddy planer boards. He's a super good dude. He sent me some of this. I don't know if the camera will focus on that, but anyway, that's the braid. There it is. That's the braid that he's got, and it's like a camouflage-ish braid. It's a basic, like I guess 8 or 9 strand braid. It doesn't say on here, but it's actually pretty good stuff. I've been using it for a minute, and I kind of like it. You know, like I told him when we first started talking about this stuff, that I told him I really like the Mad Catz braid, and it was going to take a good braid for me to switch from that. But it's actually pretty good stuff. I've caught some pretty good fish on it, and I rather like it. And so, but the other thing we got going on too is he's trying to work on is I'll show you this line here. You've probably seen it in some of my videos, but but you see the color of that line there. It's kind of a camouflage-ish type line too, which it's absolutely nothing new to the market. I mean, camouflage line's been out for forever. But anyway, so he's working on that. He's actually coming out with some newer colors that actually match my rod a lot more, and it's going to be pretty cool. I should get a roll of that here pretty soon. Now we're going to base, he hasn't committed to, any of the sales going to veteran organizations just yet. He's just trying to see, if it's even worth putting on the market. And I don't know. There may be a place for it. I like it. It's actually a pretty good line. If I had to compare it to something, I'd say it's really close to the Andes line. It's pretty good, and it's a monofilament. See, like the copolymer line's really good. But like I said, the clips that I use on but the copolymers, they got a coating on them that make it, I guess, less memory, slicker, smoother, stuff like that. Well, the problem I run into is because the clips that I use on my planer boards, they're just a regular, you squeeze it open and it clips in. You don't have to lock it down like that. So the problem I run into is it puts that coating or oil, or I don't know what's on them. So, but anyway, it pops out too easy. So. But this line's actually pretty good. I'm running on 2 rods now. Like I said, he's going to send me some more line to try out. And I don't know. I want to, I'll probably still just run it on my, my military rods, commemorative rods. But then he's also got some other colors that he's got coming out with. He's got some high vis stuff. It's the same exact line. So I don't know. We'll see where that goes. I told him, I'm a Berkley big game guy. I have been for many years, and I've been very successful with that line. The only problem is if with that Berkley big games, I got to change it out twice as much, it seems, because it's it is a cheaper line, but it does what it's supposed to do for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I've caught 2 state records on it, so it does pretty good stuff. But since I fish 4 to 5, sometimes 6 days a week, it's wear and tear, so I typically got to change that line about every 2 weeks, every other week roughly, every probably 10 to 12 days I got to swap it out. So that's one of the biggest things, because if you get hung up, you'll notice, more specifically, get hung up, the more you stretch it, the thinner it gets. Well, when that happens, and if you get hung up again, you notice it starts breaking easier and easier and easier and easier, and that's something I don't want, especially with some of the structure and stuff that I'm fishing. So. But so far, like I said, this line's holding up just fine. I'm not going to put, as far as for me personally, I'm not going to put my stamp of approval on it just yet, but it's kind of cool. I know in the catfish community, catfishing period, people like that high vis line because you can see it. I completely understand. But he's just still trying to bring something different to the table as far as that goes. And so the other thing is that I want to go over the custom floats that I have with Ironside Catfishing. So I know I've done a video on it before, but so that's the one here. Now these ones here, let me see if I get it to focus. There we go. If I could, but these ones here are these exact ones here are going to be profits that he makes off these. He is going to take a portion of that and also donate them to veteran organizations. Now we're coming out with more colors. This is the second color we got coming out. We got an all black color, and then he asked me what other colors we need to come out with. I said, wow, I mean, go wild. You pick the color. It doesn't matter to me. And so I don't know what he's going to come up with next. I'm sure it's going to be pretty cool, whatever it is. But yeah, that's that right there is kind of the core that I've got going on right now as far as people. And also I forgot JBN, John Bub Manu, with his magic sticks. He also does the same thing. So I have the signature color with him, and they are the green and black. So he doesn't have a website, but if you just search up John Bub Manu on Facebook, send him a message, he'll get you squared away. And to a lot of these products that I just showed you, I've got a discount code, which will always be in the description section, which I've actually got a few more that I've got to add. I just recently picked up a battery sponsor, which is kind of cool, for the new boat that I got coming in. I'm still finalizing that deal. We just worked on the whole affiliation thing today or last night, so once I get the codes for that and stuff, you guys will be able to take advantage of that. It'll be I don't know what the final savings will be to you guys, but it's kind of neat, to work with different people that share the same interest, and build a pretty good product at a fair price. Let me put that out there, at a fair price. So it's kind of neat that we can work together, get together with other people, and just kind of I don't know, get their product out there, share the stuff with other people. So the other part of that, I just want to get that part of that away. But again, run through the description section. Everything that's in there, everything that I use, and all my discount codes are there. They're always there. If you watch these videos on TV, you can't see it, so you may have to pop it up on your cell phone or computer. Then you can actually check the description and see all the savings that are down there, because I got a pretty good handful of them through different companies of anything you need, like these. Whisker Seeker hooks. I've got a discount code for them. Carolina Lake weights, Cat Daddy planer boards. There's a few different other places I got discount codes for as well. So check them out. So the other thing I wanted to go over was so we're going to update the channel, so to speak. So come 2025, I will say probably late February, if not early March. I will be getting into the next big step for this channel. And I say it's a big step for this channel because it's a huge step for me compared to where I started out to where I am today. So I'm actually super excited. I cannot wait well, anyway, you probably already know, but I'm getting a new boat. I went ahead. I've been in a lot of different boats over the last year, and I've kind of made my decision as far as, based off of ease of use for me, because I'm going to be by myself quite a bit of the time. Cockpit space, because I've got some plans, in the future that I will need a bigger open area like that compared to, say, probably like the Sea Arcs. But I want it in a 20 to 21 foot package, because I can handle that boat by myself. But so it's already been ordered. It's in production. Actually, I say probably won't be in production until after the holidays. But I'm in queue to get it in production. So they're hoping they could get it to me by late February, early March. God, I hope so. Because there's a Twisted Gat tournament that comes through here that I really want to fish, and I really want to do it out of my new boat. But so yeah, so that part of it's gonna be pretty cool. Gonna be able to do a lot more stuff. I plan on breaking down a lot bigger water, which I'm gonna start off breaking down the upper end of Barkley, probably Kentucky Lake area. The only problem with that is that gets commercial fish kind of heavy. I like to think a lot of them are legit. Which most of them probably are, but I know there's a lot of commercial fishing that happens out there. So a lot of times, because even if they catch a big fish in a net, they catch them in a net, they let them go. Well, it's going to be a couple of days before you decide to do anything. Well, you figure if you've got, 8 or 10 commercial fishermen out there that they're trying to catch, eater blues or channel cats, and let's say each one average, 2 or 3 big fish a day caught in their net that they let go, however that works out. And that's just that many fish it's not going to eat for a while. So got to take that into account. But I still think there's some big fish to be caught up there. I fished a pretty good ways into Barkley, and I've done pretty well. So I'm going to expand on that. There's going to be some overnight camping trips on the boat. There's going to be, you know, just some pretty fun stuff. I'm going to travel a little bit further now. You know, me and Spencer's we've got stuff planned for next year. Me and some other guys, YouTubers, we've got some other stuff planned for next year also. We're just trying to get through the holiday season right now. We're trying to get through the, you know, all that stuff and wind down from Christmas and all this other stuff. So once all that happens, we start getting our schedules together. We get through CatCon's a big one. Get through all that. There's a lot of commitments that happen with those shows and stuff, as far as us and being there and whatnot. So we're going to get it all figured out. But like I said, 2025 is going to be a pretty good start. It's kind of neat. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. Because up to this point, I never thought that I would be where I'm at with this YouTube thing. And, you know, like I've said before, the only thing holding me back is me. You know, I take all your guys' advice. I take your recommendations, your questions, and stuff like that, and that's what just keeps me, you know, driving for the next video, and keep on going. Just keep doing better. So that's what I plan on doing, and that's definitely something that's going to happen. So y'all definitely stay tuned for that, because there's going to be bigger things happening. Like I said, next year, bigger things coming out next year, and just more things that's going to be going on, because I want to go. You know, I've kind of been doing this now full time for right about a year, and it's really paid off. And I think it's time for me to really, you know, move outside of you know, I guess my local area, so to speak. Now I have, you know, every now and again, but I'm going to do a lot more of that, because I think it'll be a lot of fun. Plus, it'll just, you know, test me as a fisherman. You know, and that's what I want. I want the challenge more so than I want, you know, anything else. I just want that challenge. I think a lot of you would get a lot of substance out of videos like that, of me just going somewhere I've never fished before, and then you know, working on it. So we're definitely going to make some trips to Missouri. I got a plan that we're going to fish a spoonbill tournament. I think it's in April. We're going to fish a spoonbill tournament. Me and, you know, old high school buddies of mine that I fished with this past year. So that way we can get out there and experience that, which I've never fished that tournament before. But I love snagging spoonbill, and of course I'll be up there anyway doing it. So we're going to fish that tournament and see how it all works out. But yeah, speaking of tournaments, we got more tournaments coming up, and we're going to, you know, film everything we can anyway. And I say a lot of it's, you know, again, me and Spencer, and we'll have another friend of ours that's going to come out with us and fish, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, it's pretty much the tackle stuff, the channel update that I wanted to talk about. But I did want to finish it up with, I get a lot of questions about the rigs and what I use. So I say the rigs. So you know the rod, you know the reel. I use the Pin Fathom reels. I use typically 40-pound mainline mono. And I've gotten into using this Draggin Masters Black Armor leader line. And I'm gonna tell you what, y'all, I'm not a big fan of, you know, when I first saw that, and I'm talking when I first saw this about, I guess it's been about a year ago, I think, when I first saw it. Plus all their other items they got, I was skeptical, you know, because I'm like, no, regular monofilament works, or fluorocarbon, or whatever you want to use. Like, it works, you know, all that worked great for years and stuff. But ever since I started using this stuff, I have been impressed. I've been impressed for sure with how well it handles, you know, abrasion, things like that. Of course, if you get it wrapped up around a buoy chain, you're not going to, I don't think any type of monofilament or even braid at that point was going to protect it. But it's just kind of neat, you know. It's they call it a shielded micro monofilament. You know, I mean, so far it's done what it's supposed to do. I got an open roll here, but you know, I mean, that's, if you can, I don't know if it'll focus on this little thing, but it's black, but it's kind of stiff. You know, like when you first pull it off the roll, it does have a lot of memory. But once you tie everything, and then let's say you tie it, you stretch it out on the rod, and you let it sit overnight, it's straight, so the memory's gone at that point. And it's actually, like I said, I'm highly impressed. I used to I used to not really worry about that type of stuff, you know, trying to reach outside of my comfort zone of what I know works, because I've got 2 big rolls of, you know, 80-pound Berkeley big game, you know, that clear monofilament. That's what I've used for years. Well, I went from 30 to 60 to, you know, to now 80, and this is also 80-pound test. So, but it works great. I love it. But I want to, because I got to go over the actual leader setup. That's what I need to do, because I get a lot of questions about that. So how I start off when I do it is I'll take, you know, basically both arms. I'll grab it and I'll stretch it out, probably both arms width, and then I'll cut it. So, and the other biggest thing is the knot. So everybody, I didn't know the name of this knot for years, but somebody finally told me what the name of the knot was. So anyway, so you got your hook, you got your hook eye, you got your line. So I always put it through here. This is, matter of fact, this is called the egg snell loop knot, if you were curious of the name of the knot. It's used by, you know, Northwest fishermen, typically salmon fishermen, you know, stuff like that. That's where the knot, I guess, originated from, but either way, that's where the knot comes from, which makes sense. My grandfather was a commercial fisherman off the state of Washington, off the coast of Washington State, a little place called Whidbey Island. That's where, you know, my dad was born and raised. So my grandpa was a commercial fisherman, so it all makes sense how I learned the knot. So anyway, how to tie the knot? You just stick it in this way and leave about, I don't know, 1.5 inches. I always do about 1.5 inches, and then you just do. I always do right-hand rotations. You could do left-hand rotations. It's completely up to you, but you'll wrap it 5 times first. So you'll just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course you keep your little focus on it. Yeah, there you go. So it looks like that. Well, once you keep this line tight, the rest of the line tight, and then you just take this finger and you push down on the wraps. So what that happens is it'll keep them wraps tight. And I'll come all the way down to the other end. So it is pretty long leader, because I like running about a 36 to 40 inch leader. So anyway, you do that. So you take that line and you go through the back side of the eye, and you pull it out about, well, I guess that's, you know, I usually do about another 1.5 inches, sometimes 2 inches. This part really don't matter. So you hold that in, you grab the line you originally had, pulling down on that way you can let go of the loops, and then you pull the other end of your leader line, focus, the other end of your leader line over top of your old wraps. And then you will wrap over top of the rest of your leader line 5 more times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once you get it like that, that's how it's, focus, buddy. So that's how it's going to look right there. And then you just, again, take this finger, keep your loops tight, grab this in, pull it through, and then once you're at this point, you can see there's, yeah, come on now. I'm trying to make sure this thing stays in focus. It wants to keep picking up on me. There we go. So you see there's gaps on it. All you do is you just pull it tight. Then that's how it looks. So you'll have, all right, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get it. Okay, so that's how it looks like. So you still got your leader line that comes over top of your first 5 wraps, but the last 5 wraps are what's pinching it. So it's actually a pretty good. It's actually a pretty good knot. And I'll show you a reason why. Let me clip this end off, and I always clip this right about there, because I don't like having that line sticking out anywhere in there, because that could potentially, because it is pretty stiff, so it could potentially knock that hook out of the way if the fish is trying to get it. But anyway, I'll show you why I like this. Let me grab the hook. Okay, so there's some other knots that if you tie it, let me see if I get it focused. But if you tie it, come on now. Well, people can't see it if it don't focus. Come on, camera. There we go. Well, right here where that hook, the eye is pushed back to the main shank of the hook, there's always imperfections right there. So like I can take my thumb and it catches, right? So it's not smooth. Even on these hooks, it's not smooth. Any hook, it's not smooth. But I've had other snell knots where that line is actually leaning against or laying against that non-smooth surface right there. So what that, in my mind, it probably never happens, but You know, I always think way too far in the weeds when it comes to little things like that, but in my mind, if you've got your line leaning up against that little opening there, and it may have a sharp burr, maybe a tooling issue, you know, maybe old tools that they're using to push all this stuff together, which, you know, pretty much every hook I've come across has had some sort of an issue with that. So I don't like that. So with the egg loop knot, yeah, you still have a wrap that lays kind of in that area, but it's not laying on the gap there. And regardless, that doesn't matter, because your actual leader line is now pretty much pulling power from back here. So, but you still get the action of having, you know, the circle hook action, you know, and all that stuff. So it keeps that, you can see I'm pushing it up, so you can see that it's kind of free floating over top of the first 5 wraps, so it keeps it protected from that gap in that hook. I don't know if it makes a huge difference. I really don't know. There's, you know, like I said, a lot of people have probably run, you know, them other snell knots that lay right up against that and never had a problem. But I had one time where the line broke right there, one time. So it only needs to happen one time, and then I'll figure something else out. So now, was it because of that little gap in the hook? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But either way, get this out of the way. So the other thing that, like I said, I worked on with the rest of the leader is I finally found these little gems here. So let me get it untangled. So these again are from Cat Daddy planer boards, right? So these are the large bobber stops, and they will fit over 80-pound mono. This stuff here is actually slightly thinner than 80-pound mono, but I use these to put my bobbers on because I don't like using I don't like using the plastic pegs, because if I know I went over this before, but if you see the hole, you keep pushing that peg in there, keep pushing, well, you wallow that hole out so much that if you push the peg in there, you pretty much push it in all the way, and you can't, I don't know, I guess you have to poke it out or something, but I found with these bobber stops that it works great. So, I mean, basically, if everybody, I think, knows how to put on a bobber stop. So, just pull it on, and then I'll pull it down, and I usually run it about, just depends on the current. But I'll usually run it about 6 to 8 inches from the hook. And then you put your, let's see if I get it on there. Put your bobber on, and you put on another bobber stop. And there you go. You know, you got your hook, and you got your bobber, and you got your 2 bobber stops. And here, I'll finish it. So how I adjust my leader is I'll take this, I'll straighten this arm all the way out, then I'll pull this over to my shoulder, and that's about the length that I want. So that's usually, like I said, it's rough between 38 and 40 inches, right around there. It just all depends. But you know, this long leader, like I said, I mean, you see the videos. I've caught quite a few fish with this long leader. I know a lot of people like to shorten it up, whatever. Only thing I do different, if I find myself in a spot where, you know, I don't want this bait up off the bottom any further, well then I can adjust this float to where I can let the hook hang down close to the bottom. That's kind of the difference there. So that way it keeps everything simple, like simple for me. So I can just always run one leader, regardless if I'm anchored, you know, or spot locked or dragging. I can run the same leader, and I don't have to swap every time I'm doing something different. And it's actually worked quite a few different places. But I'll tell you about the floats again. So I know this is how they started, right? Let's see if I get it to focus. There we go. And well, this is what we ended up with. All right, so I took away like the blunt part of it. I narrowed it down to where it is today, and so that's what makes it my custom color, because I actually worked on this quite a bit. You know, I did a lot of work, a lot of testing, a lot of shaving, And then now we finally got this particular size in production, and I absolutely love it. It doesn't create as much current drag as it used to, but it's still pretty dang buoyant. It'll hold up a really good piece of bait. So that's what I like about that. But I know I got a lot of questions about this whole leader setup. So, but that's it. And I run it on a 3-way swivel. You know, with these clips here. You know, I usually cut this off and I'll hook this back part to the swivel itself. But that way I can hook my sinkers on and everything's good. So I know I went over quite a bit of stuff, but like I said, I haven't done one of these videos in a minute, so I wanted to hop on here and mainly talk about the companies that support me, along with other you know, other organizations to, you know, help provide a better future, at least a better year for some people. And then of course go over some of the products that I've been using. Like I said, the camouflage line, I know it's going to be kind of a hard sell, especially for the, you know, the catfishing guys out there, because they want that high vis line and stuff like that. But I don't know, it's something cool. It's a pretty good line too. But I'll still run, I think for my setup, I'm still going to run, like, my 2 outside rods are going to probably have this multicolored line, and then I'm still going to have my, you know, some sort of a green line or high vis line in the middle so I can see it. That's kind of the thing, because, you know, you get them low light times, stuff like that, sometimes that line's kind of hard to see. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to go over. Don't think. Oh, anyway, so as I'm recording this video, we have crossed over 8,000 subscribers. For those of you that have subscribed, man, I truly appreciate it, because again, I never thought that this channel would ever make it that far. And the more it grows, the more it pushes me to do more. So I would love to see it, you know, at some point hit 10,000 subscribers. That would be, I think that's kind of my next goal, is to get there. But, you know, I'm not going to sit here and, you know, and beg for your subscription. You know, I kind of want you to do it because the content is something you want to keep seeing, and that's the whole reason why you don't hear me talk about it. So, because I want my work to be the reason why, you know, you stick around, not because you know me and I asked you to. So, so that's that part. But yeah, the next goal is 10,000 subscribers. I do believe we can get there. I would like to see it. You know, I'm hoping to get there before the end of next year. I think we could do it at the rate that it's growing. Hopefully we reach that by midsummer. That would be kind of neat. Only thing it does for me is, again, it just pushes me harder to get more and better content for you guys. And plus it kind of helps pay some of the bills. So that definitely helps a little bit too. But anyway, I know I didn't really, it was kind of a random video. I'm glad, you know, you guys decided to click on it and watch it. I appreciate it. But I wanted to get some of that stuff out there. But like I said, please, if you get the opportunity, check out the description section. I will have some new updates coming soon as far as discounts and stuff like that for you guys. Because, like I said, I'm still working on this battery deal. It's just, man, it's kind of cool. So it's going to be a huge relief, you know, because lithium batteries are expensive. I really don't care where you go; they're just expensive compared to lead-acid batteries. So I'm pretty thankful that I'm able to work with a company, which I will indulge in all that once everything's finalized. So once that happens, you'll see it. I'll actually put the link to you know, if you decide to order some. Plus, you know, I can't remember what type of discount you're gonna get. That, like I said, that part hasn't been finalized yet. I'm still back and forth with them. But that'll come soon. But yeah, check out the description section, because there's quite a bit of good stuff in there. You know, like I said, it goes over everything that I use, and then you could, you know, use some of them codes to get save a little bit of money if you choose to use some of this stuff. But anyway, I'm kind of going on and on. So anyway, with all of that being said, oh, and if you have any questions, again, please leave them in the comments. I'll get to them as best I can, and you never know, maybe its own standalone video. But I appreciate you watching this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.